Welcome to episode 5 of A Message From. We're your hosts, Alyson and Edward. How are you doing today?
Hi, I'm good. I'm good. We say this every time. I'm actually doing great. Just went and had some dumplings. Divine. It's hot as sin outside. The sun's out. It's a great time. How are you doing today?
Well, I have not had dumplings.
It's a little early.
It's not warm outside. It's 28 degrees Fahrenheit.
Ooh.
It's gray.
Ooh.
We're expecting sleet. It's not a good time.
So we're polar opposites.
Mm-hmm.
Yay.
Yay. I feel like so much has happened since we last talked to everyone. We had Super Bowl Sunday. We had Valentine's Day.
Well, that's tomorrow. Yes, we did. Wink.
Wink, wink.
Wink.
I mean, I didn't do anything exciting for either. I made like a solo Super Bowl Sunday apps. Yeah.
I'm gay. I don't care about the Super Bowl. It's a halftime show with a woman in it.
I try so hard to tone down the American football talk with you. I try to keep it to like non-American football talk, which you are obligated to have like a baseline level of knowledge of just because you live in Madrid.
Yeah, with football. Yeah. I'm sorry. Soccer. My bad.
We can call it football.
It's just because I have to teach that word specifically to kids, so therefore it becomes part of my stupid little vernacular.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I mean, we're in the minority in the world here.
True.
Referring to football as American football and then football as soccer.
As they say in Spain, football.
Football.
Yes. Educational podcast.
Foot in French.
Oh, yeah. I always forget that. I always think it's like football, and I forget it's just foot.
No, it's just foot.
Foot.
Question for you, because your Italian is better than mine.
Oh.
Do they really refer to it as calcio?
Yeah.
Or is that like... Okay, I didn't know if they had like a more... It seems so formal. I don't know why.
I was so confused at first because I kept seeing it all the time, and I was like, what the fuck is calcio? And it's the word for soccer / football, depending on...
You know what really gets me, though, in Italian?
Oh, what really gets you going?
The word for basketball.
What is it?
Do you know what it is?
Oh, no.
Pallacanestro.
No, I don't think I remember that.
Like, what is that?
Yeah, their sports terms are very strange.
Bizarre.
Yeah.
To say the least.
I don't really know what calcio comes from.
Me neither.
Like, it's probably from Latin or something. I don't know.
Who knows?
Is foot even a Latin-based word? Is it Germanic?
I'm not a linguist.
I don't care.
Do not ask me.
I'm going to look it up.
We have no idea.
Yeah, no, we don't. I think we have a little surprise not a surprise.
A little surprise for everyone.
Yeah.
We do.
You go ahead. You talk about it. Go.
We actually received our very first voice message a while ago. And when I got the notification that we had a voice message, I was so excited.
Oh my God.
I was smiling. I was so excited to listen to it. I couldn't wait. I immediately messaged you.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh, we got our first message. I'm going to listen to it. So I listened to it and all I could do was laugh. So we're going to play our very first voice message for you guys.
Oh my God, yeah. Press play.
Here we go.
无人签收，这是最后一次通知。如有疑问，请按9。转人工查询，请按9。DHL 国际快递，你有一封特级快件无人签收，这是最后一次通知。如有疑问，请按9。转人工查询，请按9。
Is it over?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's over.
I also was very excited and then was very much like, oh, just kidding. What is this?
I was just shocked. I was like, we got spammed. We
did.
So I'm like, okay, I'm going to figure out what this is saying. It's clearly just like a spam voicemail, but I need to know what it's saying. So, of course, I go to Google Translate, and you know how when you use Google Translate, it can like detect the language for you?
Yeah, of course.
Well, that only works when you're typing. If you're using like the microphone feature, you have to select the language.
I guess that makes
sense.
sense.
So I'm like, okay. I don't know why, but I was like, I'll try Korean first. Maybe it's Korean. Who knows? Which you would think I could recognize Korean. At the very least, I watch so many K-dramas.
Oh, I was like, why would you be able to recognize Korean? But that does make sense.
I watch a wild amount of K-drama. But I put Korean in first. I hit play. It's not picking up hardly anything. Like a word here or there. It said something about ribs.
Oh.
I'm like, is this like a phone call from a restaurant or something? What's going on?
Korean barbecue.
I was like, this Korean barbecue, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I wish. But I'm like, it can't be Korean. So then I go through and I try Chinese. And I'm pretty sure it's Chinese. Okay. Because when I select Chinese and play the message, it's something about like, to Tanshu, and this is the last notice, and if you have any questions, press 9 for Juran's work inquiry line, and it's this big whole thing.
A threat?
So, a threat. This is Tanshu's last notice.
Oh my god. Wait, so is this in Mandarin?
Well, that's the thing is, maybe they do have a Mandarin option, but they had two different, like, Chinese traditional and Chinese simplified.
Oh, I don't know what the difference.
And I did both of those, and it was pretty similar.
Okay.
I don't think
both of them about Tianshu's lack
but
of
I
work.
thought they would have, like, Kanto, and I didn't see that, so then I didn't even go look for Mandarin.
Oh. But isn't Kanto Japanese? No.
Cantonese.
Oh, Kanto. Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry. Kanto, like Kanto.
Yeah.
No, I was saying, like, Cantonese.
Sorry. That was a
so
Pokemon thing on my end. Yeah, confused. Well, so that was a bit of a dud.
A bit of a dud, but if you do speak whichever dialect of Chinese this is, please let us know.
Oh my god, please call in and confirm if what we suspect is true. I need to know.
Please.
Need.
We both need to know.
Need.
Because, I mean, it was truly hilarious. At least it was funny, even though it was a letdown. I was so excited. I was like, which friend sent this in? Which family member sent this in? This is exciting.
Oh, yeah, because it's only going to be somebody we know at this point. Mm-hmm. The listeners are all friends of the pod at this point, I think.
Yes.
But
and we appreciate you. Thank you for listening. If we haven't said it before, we really do appreciate it.
We do. We do.
That sounded so disingenuous.
Yeah, I'm pretty disingenuous on this pod. I've learned through editing them. Like one of them recently, I kept saying the word disingenuous. Anyway, I need to talk to you about an update. Well, we had talked yesterday and you had asked me what I was doing and I told you that I couldn't tell you because I was like, I need to save this for the podcast. Yeah, so I had to paint my bathroom and one of the walls in my room yesterday. So I was buying paint and all the fun supplies.
What?
Yeah. The man who came and painted my bathroom just like didn't do a great job. And instead of him having to come back and having to deal with all of that, I was like, I'm just going to repaint this one part because like my landlord doesn't care and I don't care. I just don't want the paint to fall off anymore. So
Painter Ted.
Yeah.
You did show me a picture after the guy came to paint your bathroom. There was like a weird hole in the fresh paint. I don't even understand how that would happen.
Yeah. Hot garbage was that man's specialty. Hot garbage. I was so upset because I also had to like clean up after him and all that stuff. And then having had to do that and then it just like didn't go well. So I thought to myself, fine, I'm just going to let this go because I don't really care. And neither does the landlord. And then it started to fall into my bathtub. And I was like, oh, I don't want to live with this. So I was like, I'm going to paint it over the weekend because I have to use the other like shower And I don't want to do that during the week because it's like everyone gets up at the same time and that'll just be a hot mess. So I did it yesterday, but I had to go to the store and buy all the shit. And then when I came back, I had to like knock all this fucking paint down, like tape all this plastic everywhere. But this is like not a very big whole like section. Let me tell you, when I knocked the paint off, it became a much bigger section. And so I painted that motherfucker up. And then I went to the wall because there's a thing on the wall from a previous tenant. And so I was like, since I got all this paint, I might as well just like do this. So I like chipped all that stuff off, painted that, and it very much looks like shit. I did not do a great job because I just don't want it to look like yellow brownie. I just wanted it to be like not that. And I noticed that the paint was chipping again on the shower. And so
what is wrong?
I don't know. So then this morning I had to take a little bit of that part off. It wasn't too much. And repaint over that. And then I had to do a second coat on the wall because that really just looked like shit. And honestly, if I'm looking at it again, it probably needs a third coat, but like I'm not going to do that. And the ceiling is now fixed. It looks like shit, but I don't care.
But paint's not falling on your head anymore.
No, not. I mean, like, knock on wood.
Not yet.
Not at this moment, or hopefully in the future.
This is wild though. Like, what is going wrong? Do you think it's because a bathroom? Like, are the walls wet? Is it too humid in there? Do they need to be sanded? Like, what's wrong?
I don't know what he did because I wasn't here. I was at physical therapy, and I don't know. When he left, I don't remember if it was like that because I don't imagine that he would have left it that way. But it maybe it was like about to, but it's just like there was some air bubble or something. I'm not an HGTV homosexual. I don't know. So I called my dad and was like, hey, Dad, what the fuck am I doing? And he told me what to do, and now it's done. So just got to wait another 24 hours for that shit to dry, and then I will be showering in peace. I hope.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
We hope.
So that's what I saved for you today.
Showering with the paint chips for
I wanted to take a bath, too. And I was like, well, not with these paint chips everywhere.
No.
I'm going to walk out chalky.
Bathing chemicals.
No, I do that already. With soap. I'm sure there's chemicals in soap, right?
Oh, yeah. Bath bombs, for sure.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
So many chemicals.
Aren't you so happy that I waited to share that with you today?
This is the most thrilling news I've heard all week.
Well, yeah, I am nothing if not an entertaining newscaster.
This is true. You should be hired.
Yeah. Well, do you want... Actually, this is funny. So, last night, I had a wild dream. Can't talk about what happened in it. But I wanted to tell you that I had a wild dream and that I could talk about it.
You're not going to talk about what happened?
No, I can't. Not on the pod.
Ugh.
It's about... It's just... I can't.
Okay, fine.
I'll tell you
I
off the
love
pod.
Dreams, but I know you hate dreams.
That's why it was funny, because I was like, oh, I have a great dream to tell Alyson. She's definitely gonna I can't even think of the verb. Not shit on me, but like beat on me. What's the word?
Rip on you?
Rip on me for having a dream story.
I'm definitely gonna rip on you because this happens like twice a year. I could bombard you with my dreams every single day.
Every single day.
Sometimes I do, but since you got me that dream journal, I've really stopped.
Yeah, so I need you to interpret it later.
I will definitely interpret it for you.
It has to do with my crush. I know.
Oh,
I know.
So cute.
Anyway.
Yeah, speaking of dreams, I'll just tell you this.
Oh no.
I won't get into details.
What have I done?
But I think I mentioned before that I was working my way through all the seasons of Chicago PD.
Yes, you have.
Well, being the trash human that I am, I've finished all 7.5 seasons.
Oh my God.
And now I've moved on to Chicago Fire.
Oh Lord.
But I have to say, over the last month and a half, 99% of my dreams are Chicago PD / Chicago Fire themed. There are characters from the show in my dreams, or I'm in Chicago, or whatever happened in the last episode I watched before going to sleep happens in my dreams. They're all action packed.
You have a superpower, I swear.
I do.
Do you watch it right before bed?
Yeah.
Oh.
I know I shouldn't do like the screen time thing. I used to cut it off and like read before bed, but
Now you're a wild
lately
child.
I just don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, I think we should take a break and get into our massage after the break.
After the break.
After the break.
We need a breather.
All right.
See you soon.
Boy. All right, we're back, and we have a message from my good friend, my longest friend, Annie. So let's get into it. It's a voice message from the hotline. Call the hotline at 202-630-4509.
Okay, perfect. Here we go.
Let's do this.
Hi, Edward. This is Annie. I guess my message to you would be, well, I really didn't know where to start, but I guess I thought about how DC kind of always reminds me of you because we skipped our senior prom to me, you, and Calvis to go to DC for the weekend because I knew I'd be going to American. And that was a really, really fun trip, and we thought we were so rebellious, doing something that everyone else wasn't doing at school. We had a really good time, and then I thought of the time how you went to DC for a semester, the same semester that I went abroad to Madrid. And then the following semester, you went to Madrid and I went back to DC, and how it just never really worked out. We never lived in DC at the same time together, but it did seem that we kind of went to the same college, as you were always visiting, or I came to Pittsburgh. And you knew so many of my friends. So it's just really, really interesting how we haven't really lived in the same city as adults together for more than a month when I was home from school in the summer. So I'm just curious if you would ever move back to DC, or if you were to move back to the United States, what city would you probably live in? New York City? Pittsburgh? Probably not. DC, or somewhere on the West Coast. Or somewhere close where you can, and more diverse, where you can practice Spanish. I don't know, it's just really interesting to think about our friendship and how most of our friendship was in high school or visiting each other in college and not really living in the same city together. And yet we still stayed friends for so long. And you're living with my sister. And my family asks about you more than they ask about me, which is very telling. So I miss you, Alyson. I don't believe we've ever met, but hello. Curious to hear your thoughts about where you would think you would fit as an adult now in the U.S. if you were to move back. And do you plan on staying in Madrid? Is Madrid the most home for you in Europe?
Yeah. So that got a little bit cut off. So we just have a part 2 really quickly as well.
Oh, my message got cut off. But yeah, that's my message. Thank you so much. Looking forward to hearing the podcast. Bye.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So first,
message.
let me say, hi, Annie. No, we haven't met, but I've heard great things about you.
Oh.
And before we get into this, I do want to say I love the question that she brought up at the very end about, like, where do you feel like your place is as an adult in this country?
Like my personal one, or in general us?
Well, in general, I think she was asking you personally, but I think that was a really interesting question, and I just wanted to say that before you respond, because this message is really for you.
Well, it's for both of us, in a sense that, like, a lot of the questions she, like you said, like she asked me, apply to both of us. I don't really think that there's a place in the United States like for me. That sounds so weird to say. Ugh. But my brand, quote unquote brand, like if we're going to use that word as in just like me, it's always been Europe. Like it's my end goal, end game.
Right.
So, I mean, I was thinking about it and I was like, where would I live in the US? Like if I, like New York, I'd probably, if I had to.
Or DC.
No, I wouldn't.
Come live with
DC.
me.
Sorry. I don't think I could move back to DC.
Rude.
I know. Sorry. She's pointing her tongue at me in the video. You can't see that. But where, I mean, like, where do you feel like your place is in the U.S.? I mean, obviously you live in the U.S.
Right. I live in the U.S., but I don't want to stay here forever. I mentioned this before, but I'm working on getting Italian citizenship.
Right.
And obviously I don't know how that all is going to work out. It's a wild experience. I mean, I expected nothing less, but now that I have all of the document requirements and everything like written out step by step, it's a big task. But I think it'll be worth it in the end.
Oh,
but,
absolutely.
Yeah. For me, I don't get homesick.
Yeah.
I don't feel like there's one place where ultimately I'm always going to end up. You know, I was born and raised in Michigan, lived there for the first 25 years of my life. I did spend part of one summer living and working in Canada, which was a lot of fun.
Iconic summer.
But that was pretty, iconic. We can talk about that another time. But, you know, and then after that, after grad school, I moved to France for a year, moved back to Michigan, and now I live in Maryland. But I don't ever feel a sense of permanence anywhere that I live, anywhere that I go. It's interesting, but other than being in France, there was never a place where I thought I want to be here for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
I could easily move to a different state or a different country every year and be perfectly happy. So for me, I don't feel like there is one place for me as an adult in the United States or anywhere.
Do you feel like you fit in with DC currently? Or do you feel like you would fit better in somewhere else?
I guess the interesting thing is that I'm living in the suburbs right now.
Burb life.
So I think I would enjoy things more if I was living in DC. And there are a few reasons that I don't live in DC, mainly because when I first moved out here, I ended up making friends and like finding a gym and a community that I was really attached to. So it was hard for me to wrap my mind around leaving that just because I wanted city life. Now with the pandemic and everything, things are different. I definitely feel a little bit differently, and I could see myself much more easily making the move into the city. But
that's funny,
I feel like I fit in.
Most people are doing the opposite.
Yes.
They're like, now in the pandemic, I don't need to be in a city and I'm trying to get the fuck into nature.
Exactly. Everyone's doing the opposite.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess that's just me.
Interesting.
I don't know. I feel like I fit in. There is a place for me in a sense that I'm comfortable here. My life is comfortable. My lifestyle is comfortable. I don't feel out of place, but I also don't feel excitement here.
Oh. Neutral. Yeah.
Exactly. So there's a place for me. I mean, I fit into, you know, the lifestyle and the culture here. But at the same time, I know I could do that anywhere.
Right. Very chameleon of you.
That's me.
She's adaptable. Oh, this is a very deep message. I didn't realize I was going to get this deep.
I bet she had no idea.
I bet she did.
Do you want...
Guaranteed.
Do you want to maybe... I feel like we jumped right into the deep end. I commandeered this conversation. But, like, let's roll it back a little bit. Maybe, like, introduce Annie and how you guys met.
Okay. Annie and I met and I'm sure she'll dispute this, but I am almost 100% sure it was the first day of sophomore year. I don't remember if it was like first or second period, but it may have been the first period of the day. We had social studies together, world history, I think it was, or European history. Not an honors class, just a regular class. Oh no, it was honors. It doesn't matter. Literally doesn't matter. And I saw her, and I thought to myself, I'm gonna become friends with that girl, because I would do that every year. I'd like look at the people in the class, and if they weren't already my friend, I thought I would pick and choose who I thought was interesting based on looks. That's such a thing I need to talk to a therapist about, probably. Yikes.
That's fascinating. I didn't think people really did that.
Oh,
I thought that was like teen movie material.
I don't know, vain as sin. I just thought like who looked cool or seemed cool, and then I would sort of like in my head like mark them as like become friends with that person. Boop. So I had met her then, and we had become friends that year and became obviously much better friends throughout high school and uni and all that stuff. And I live with her sister, so the other side of the world. That's wild
too.
Yes,
that's funny.
Lucky me.
It's funny. So, you know, my best friend from high school also has a younger sister.
Oh, yeah.
And her and I never lived together, but we ended up living in the same city together because we were going to the same university.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like, you know, similar situations.
Yeah, with Anne, I wanted to go to American University. That was a big thing for me because it was in DC, and I always wanted to live in DC. I was obsessed with DC. It was like an international hub in my mind. Also like politics.
It was also close to home.
Yeah, but like far enough away that it like wasn't. But
yeah.
I had visited as a kid. I was like into language, culture, you know, that whole thing, and it's like very international in like a international student and family sense. So that was that. But I ended up going to Carnegie Mellon, which, yeah. So we ended up not going to university together, and but I ended up visiting her like every semester, and partially it was also because I ended up dating one of her friends, and so that also like was the reason I went to
sort of visiting DC. Her, but also not.
Yeah, but it was true. I moved to Madrid for a semester. She actually got it backwards. I moved to Madrid. She was in DC. I then decided to go to DC for a semester, and she went to Madrid. And I remember being like, God damn it. Like, how? Like, I'm always, it just didn't end up working out.
Yeah.
But
this is very telling of your relationship because you've now disputed 2 counts of her message.
This is very much who I am with people. You know this. You're my friend.
Yeah, I know this.
Love being right. And I remember everything.
That's the problem is, yeah, you and I both love being right.
Yeah. Who's more right, though? You or me? Who do you think?
Me.
I don't think that's
And true. I don't think you would dispute that.
Oh.
Ooh.
I don't know.
Our first disagreement on the pod.
True. I'd have to really think about this. Well, I'll get back to you on this one. And then
get back to me.
Yeah, maybe next week I'll figure out which person is more often correct.
This is a poll for the listeners. Who do you think is correct more often?
Oh, I gotta make an Instagram poll now.
Yeah, you have to do an Instagram poll now.
Damn it. All right, we'll do that. We'll see who. It's gonna be you.
It's gonna be
because everyone who knows me is gonna, out of spite, vote for you. Well, so yeah, we had gone to DC for the first time together senior year instead of going to prom, which seems like such a loser move. But
honestly, though, I was thinking, I wish that I had just went off on a random trip instead of going to my senior prom. I decided to go to my senior prom last minute because I felt guilty for not going. And I mean, I think I had fun, but I also don't really remember it that much.
For me, I had been to prom already. I went junior year, and we don't have a separate junior prom like some schools do.
Oh, we had separate.
Right.
Junior and senior.
So I was like, it's going to be at Heinz Field again. In my head, I had told myself, literally, it was like, it's at Heinz Field. I don't care. I've already been. It's the same thing. It wasn't that fun junior year. And no offense to the people who I went to junior year prom with. I just didn't have that much fun. But in reality, it was because like, I was like, who am I going to go with? I was like, I'm gay. I'm not going to go with anybody. So
Yeah.
really, it's much darker than I made it out to be as a child. But
Sad.
Yeah.
Sad story.
But I don't know why my parents just were like cool with me like just going on to DC with like 2 friends. I mean, I was 18, do whatever I wanted. But also like, it's just very strange in my head now thinking about it. We just fucked off to DC for a weekend, took the megabus, and we got a hotel, I think in like Chevy Chase or somewhere even out there. Like,
ooh, nice.
Maybe it was
You
farther
got like
out.
a
No, it was Rockville.
fancy
I think it was
hotel.
Rockville.
Oh, okay, Rockville is where I live now.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah.
Okay, because you say Chevy Chase, and I'm like, are there even hotels in Chevy Chase?
There
Those
are.
like
I have stayed in a hotel in
fancy
Chevy Chase.
homes.
Yeah, it's a very nice area. Very nice area.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's basically that. We've been friends since then, and it's been long distance friendship for a really long time. And oh no, I saw she came to Madrid randomly before her sister moved back here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But that's still long distance.
Yeah,
that was just a visit.
it's like long distance, long term friendships. It was just like most of my friendships. I mean, I haven't seen you since fucking 2016.
2016,
Yeah.
right? Isn't that funny though? I have a lot of long distance friendships too, and
Almost all of mine.
I mean, yeah, most of my friendships are long distance.
Yeah,
And
it's true.
I mean, it's interesting. You know, we make it work.
We do. But we'll have to get into a topic like that on another day because we're out of time, babe.
Yeah, we had a lot to say
We
this
did.
time.
It's been 2 weeks since we recorded, so we were amped up and ready to go.
Yeah, ready for it.
But yeah, thank you, Annie, for sending us our first voice message. Well, our second voice message, technically.
Our second voice message, but our first real voice
Our
message.
first real message. We'll have to... Well, not we. Alyson will have to send you a postcard. I'll send her your address.
I will send you a postcard.
Yeah.
So send me your address.
Yeah.
Your preferred mailing address.
Hit us up in the DMs on Instagram and send us your address.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I could ask your sister for it.
How do you not know her address?
Because she moved recently.
Okay, that's acceptable.
Yeah. Although no, it hasn't arrived. She was supposed to send her sister and I our birthday presents, and it hasn't arrived yet. So it doesn't have a return address on
Wow.
it.
So there is someone who sent you a birthday present later than mine.
Yes, but
I
it was
feel
also
a
for her
little bit
sister because her sister's birthday was like last week.
Okay.
Yeah, so technically a pass to save money on postage. But yeah, if you could do us a favor, and leave us a 5-star review and write something. Maybe we'll read it on the pod if you write something. People do that. Maybe we'll do that.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe we won't.
We have gotten some really good feedback.
We have. Put that into an iTunes review or a Spotify review. Wherever
Review
people
us.
review. And
Follow us.
Yes.
Subscribe.
Follow, subscribe, review. You can call us once again at 202-630-4509 and leave us an iconic message like Little Miss Annie did. Or you can email us at a messagefrompostcards@gmail.com. That also would be iconic, depending on the content of your message. And on that note, see you next week, babe.
See you next week.
Bye.
Thanks for listening.
Bye, bye, bye.
Bye.
Pew, pew, pew. I'm going to stop recording.
Pew, 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 pew.